Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. It's a privilege to be here again, and I'm going to get straight into it. I have provided a handbook, so everyone has access to everything I'll be doing. The link will be shared, and so I don't know if we could zoom in. It's a bit.ly link, AI hyphen automation, yeah. So you can scan that, and so it's a copy. And the handbook I've been tasked with making this as beginner friendly as possible, considering we have a wide variety of individuals here. So this is the beginner handbook, and I have the intermediate handbook as well as the technical handbook for those that want to bite the bone. And so I'll provide that as well through the convener after my session. So we are has everyone got it? Okay, while you do that, how many of you use AI? You use AI. All right. I don't think I need to define artificial intelligence here. So how many of you here today use it in your daily lives in one way or the other? All right. So I want to know, what do you use it for? Storytelling? Awesome. Any other person? What? LinkedIn? Thinking? Oh, how do you do that? Please, there's no wrong answer, okay? That actually leads me to something I want to explain. Prompting, right? I think she would get the technical handbook then. Let her bite the bone more. All right. Any other person? Photos, editing photos, right? Yeah, I think we have a lot of people using it for that. I think some of the professional pictures we see on LinkedIn these days, nobody has visited studios a lot. I think studios are still giving discounted rates because of that. Has everyone got it? Can we proceed though? Okay, please, I have... we're going to tech as your ally. You know, there's this common mantra we hear a lot. AI will not replace you. Or some people say AI will replace you. And someone says AI will not replace you. Those using AI will replace you. But the truth is, if you have AI as your ally, it will neither replace you, neither will someone who is using it replace you. Because can an ally go against someone who is an ally? So what our topic for today is tech as your ally, with a focus on using AI for automation in our daily lives to make everything we do better. And so today we are going to, if everyone has got the handbook, you see the topic there's automating with AI. And I'm not going to try to demystify artificial intelligence, but this is a gentle scenario-based introduction to using it to do real work for you. And I am a fanboy of Anthropic. For those of us who knows, who knows GPT? Awesome. Who knows Claude? Oh, I'm happy the hands are even more than those. It makes this easier. Who has Claude account here? Okay. Who doesn't have one? Please, for you to participate in this, and it's very simple to create an account, okay? You can use your Google profile to create one easily. I'm an Anthropic fanboy for the sake that they are very focused on privacy. That's one of the things. For those of us who have been building AI enterprise products and using it in products, they are very big on privacy. So, and they are very futuristic in the applications of AI. How many of you have heard the word agentic AI? Yes, you have heard of AI skills. Okay, I'm happy to see the answer. I'm happy. So, agentic AI is basically similar to what we are doing today, but for a lot of us, if you use AI and this is your experience, you open your phone, you open the chat app, and then you drop something and you say, I want to do this, help me draft an email I can send to my boss asking for paid time off without sounding like I'm ungrateful for the opportunity that you have given to me. How many of you have done something like that before? Say the truth. Thank you. Or you have an assignment. Help me. My topic for my project is this. Give me the outline for the whole information architecture and all those things so I can set my. Who has done something like that? I'm happy to see this. Or some of us have a big business deal we want to close. How do I price these clients? You just drop it there. How do I price these clients? Who has done something like that before? Awesome. I'm seeing hands. So there's something that I'm very grateful for is the fact that the people who have gone ahead of me have been awesome forerunners. Please let's give everyone a round of applause. Awesome forerunners. Because the use of AI, how many of you know AI is not a search engine? It's basically a model, right? It's wrapped around a model. So it's not a search engine. It does not search. It's using knowledge it has been trained on. So a lot of us, that's why it introduced things called hallucinations. Because all AI does is predicting. It's mathematics. It's basically a probability model. That's what it's called. And it's not new technology, by the way. It's been there since the 50s. All right, 1950s. So what we are using today, a lot of us just use the generic model approach. You open your Claude, you type something, and then you expect it to give you something that will help you. So when Anthropic was training Claude, you know the models that they have, right? They have the Haiku, the Sonnet, the Opus, Fable, that caused a lot of controversy, but we loved it, the first version. Now this one they have really held its wing. So how many of you have been using those models, and when they were training it, did they know Chukwuka Eberechi? Please, I hope that's not someone's name here. Okay, I try to go as, okay. So you go into it and you type something, expect it to give you something that solves the problem for you. But then you get something generic and you're like, this thing they work, so they just a hyper. So, all this hype trend. I know our daddies and mommies have, those of them that have domain knowledge in these things, you ask it to draft one financial document, it gives you, so, now be this. You know, won't follow yourself. All right, so we are going to be looking at how to actually utilize it, and it's based on some things you can scroll. AI is meant to be personalized. Now, you get the benefits of it when you personalize, and that's when it helps you. That's when it becomes an ally. An ally is basically someone who knows you go into an agreement with the person. In business, we'll sign MOUs, right? Go into an agreement with the person, and the person is now working for your purpose. But if an ally does not know you, how do they know when not to cross your boundary? How do they know when to defend your territory for you? How do they know the things you work with? So AI needs to know you, and that's how you personalize it. So 3 promises. I use Claude a lot, so this is going to be based on Claude, because some of the features here, I've used them over time. For the past, I think, 3 years, I've been using it for a lot of things, and I've grown from the Haiku level to the Fable, and I've used it. So let's scroll. I'll try to keep this brief. Now, we are going to go through the first 5 chapters with everybody, and as we are doing this, I want you to have one goal for this session. At the end of the session, I want you to come up with something. Have a goal for what you want AI to do for you at the end of this session. I'm going to use maybe the next 6 to 10 minutes of my time to go through chapters 1 to 5. So are we ready? Please, are we ready? Yeah. All right. So now let's go. Just scroll. All right. So let's keep the chat mode and I was going to introduce you to co-work mode, but I can't present that now. So that would have been perfect to show you what is available. How many of you have heard of Claude Co-work? Awesome. So you know how you open your chat and then you have to ask it to do something every time you need it to do something, draft an email, do this. Imagine that can be working in the background for you. Now that's what co-work is. It can draft emails, it can pull things from different places and do those things for you. It's basically being automated to handle it for you. But let's scroll to chapter 3, I think. All right, chapter 3. How to talk to AI. So there are very, very simple principles that are always used. And this has come from the people who built these systems. The first one is you always have to define the role for the conversation. Some people just go into it and tell you, draft an email to help me do this. I'm closing this deal, help me do all the examples I've given. But it does not know the role of where it's coming from. So an intern could be asking for this, right? But the quality that goes into what a manager is requesting for is different from what an intern will be asking for and what it will give to you. So it needs to know the role it's working with. It needs to know the task. So your prompt should include these things: role, task, continue. The handbook is already available, so since they can, the role, task, the context. Can we scroll a bit, please? On the format. So what you want it to give to you. The context is based on the information it needs to work with. And this is a very bad example. Write an Instagram caption for my bakery. Would AI give you that? If you try that now, it's going to give you something, right? But would that really help you? And then you feel turned off, right? Now, but if you give it something like this: I run an artisanal bakery, that already gives it what? A context. You give it your role, it knows your role now that you run it. You give it more information. You're opening a second branch in Ikeja next Saturday. My audience is you're giving it all the context, and you ask it for the format. And at the end of this prompt, you give it to AI and even include some extra information, like the things you provide. What does your bakery serve? And ask it to give Instagram caption. At the end, you get something that is streamlined. So imagine I ask it, I want captions for my bakery. You would get like 10. And out of that 10, none will be good for you. But if you ask for 5 with this kind of context, what you get is going to work. Let's continue, please. I want us to get to the practical side. So this is an example. I think since you're scrolling with me, you can be reading this on your side. So think step by step. All right? When you use it, you have to think step by step. Now, a lot of us want to pack everything and just give it to do it. But if you have a business process, how would that work? So you give it the step that your business uses to do that. Step by step, you show it, give it examples. In the past, if you had captions that have helped you before, for that example, if you have other bakeries in maybe UK or somewhere, or another bakery that you want to emulate is social, we talked about branding as well. You want to set your brand to maybe there are people you look up to. You can give it that example and it uses that. So that's the show, don't tell. Let's go forward, please. Yeah, I think we can continue. I want to get as far as possible with the time I have. And so I think let me go straight to 2 concepts. The handbook, you can read it later, right? So instead of reading it, I can just go into the things that are already in the handbook. How many of you have heard of projects before? Projects. Now, thank you very much. That's one of the reasons I love Claude. Even on the Claude mobile app, on your free plan, you have projects. Now, a lot of us, every time we want to ask for an email to a new customer, or we want to ask it to do something for us, like the person that says he designs, he uses it to create images for himself. Every time you create a new chart, right? Do you do that? Right? You create a new chart. And when you do that every time, you have to keep sending it pictures, picture references. Who gets tired of doing that? So the team came up with something called projects. And this can help you in everything. All right? So projects are basically, what's the best way to explain it? Think of on your computer, I have folders. Now, everything that belongs to that can be put in one place. It creates context. In programming, in AI technology, we have context is basically the information available to the AI at that point in time. All right? So when you create please, can we open our mobile apps? I think this is the practical side we'll be doing. So on your mobile, for those of you who are on the web or on the mobile, please, can you, on the side, if you're on the mobile, you'll see a plus sign to the left. You can click on that, you'll see add to project. For those of you who are on the web, it's on the sidebar to the left. And please, I think you would see the projects. Projects is further down in the slide. So when you create a project, who has done that, please? Awesome. Sorry, we'll be moving a little fast. So when you create a project, it has some fields you need to provide, instruction. So if now I give you a tip I always use, so I create different projects. I have one project called my Shammah's PA. So what that project is supposed to do, because I run an organization, I run organizations, and I also give reports as well to the board. So I have a PA. Instead of, please, for those of you that are personal assistants, I'm not taking your job, okay? I have a PA who goes through everything for me. So in the projects folder, you add instructions. in the instructions, please, I hope, can we get there so you can show what the projects can look like? In the project side, you can add instructions to show what you want it to do, limit what it's supposed to do, all right? And then when you have that instruction given to it, you can then upload files as well. So for the person who uses it for creating images, just drop all your reference images there once and for all. Never again. Please, someone say never again. Now, for those of you who use it for coding or you use it for job application, drop your CV, drop all your experience inside of that folder. Every certification you've ever gotten, everything you've ever gotten, anything you've ever done, drop it there. In the instructions place, describe your life. Now, for those of you who apply to scholarships as well, you can just create a folder for scholarships and just continue improving on the context for that folder, for that project. So as more things happen in your life, what do? Update the project. Do you need to be creating new charts every time you want to apply to a new scholarship or job or for internship or any of those things? Now, with that, what you're going to be able to do, if you've created a project and you're giving instructions, can I see your hands? Can I see? Nobody has created a project. Okay, I'm seeing some hands here. Please, if I'm moving too fast, let me know. Am I moving too fast? Should I pause a bit? All right, because of time. So now this, I'm basically going to be giving you some hacks on how to turn it into an ally. That's what I was tasked to do today, okay? So that everybody can use it. Now, if you run a business, for example, you want to reach out to customers, all right? You maybe want to keep your customers coming back. Create a project for that business. Maybe you can name it Injideka's Bakery. And in that project, drop everything that you offer to your clients, to your customers. These are the things, everything with instruction. And then when you come back later, you don't need, just create a new chart inside of that project. So when you create a new chart inside of that project, it continues with all the context you provided it before and all the information already there. So that has already taken away a lot of hallucinations for you. You've already personalized AI at that point. So if you have done that, you've actually already personalized it for your use case. And you can create multiple projects and limit their context. So nothing ever flows into another project. Are we there? Are we there? All right. And so after projects, there is something else that you can do with... Please, should I pause for a moment while you guys set up your projects? Because I want you guys to run it. Okay, I guess we are there. Now, this is the game changer. For everybody who has ever wanted to do something and then you have to be copying something from somewhere else, the team already provided something called connectors. All right? Now, for those of us who do a lot of work in our Gmails, we send a lot of emails, you can basically connect your Gmail straight into Claude. And you never have to copy or reference an email ever again. So you connect it, give it the rights to read, and then all it will do is you can tell it, there's this client we are talking to, or I do this as well, my peer, I ask it, what conversations do I need to finalize this week? It goes to my emails, look for everything that I should be doing this week based on the email thread. It's connected to my calendar, it's connected to my drive as well. So it can even create files for you. So for those of us that want to apply for visas, you want to put together documentation, you can connect it to your Google Drive and all these other things. And then what it will do, it's going to fetch information from there, all your clients. And then for those of us that are business owners that use Excel sheets, or you run finance and all those kind of things, and you want to just have it in one place to summarize in the future or reach out to your customers, you can create a connector to your Google Sheet and then utilize that information. For the students here, you can connect it to Scholar websites that actually can be used for research. So when you want to research something, it's connected to those direct sources without you having to copy and paste anything. So connectors, okay, thank you very much. So on that cost, okay, you're creating a project. Thank you for that. I was supposed to present this, so it's more practical. Thank you for your indulgence. Whoever is doing this miracle for me, God bless you over there. Okay. While that's going on, when you use the connectors, you're able to connect it to a lot of things. For those of us that use, who knows Zapier here? HubSpot, awesome. You can connect it as well if you have accounts on any of those platforms. So you don't need to be copying context. You can create a project, connect all your connectors, and inside of that place, you are working with an agent system that knows you. All right? Now, there are examples for everybody in the handbook I gave, but those is not a Bible. It's something for you to utilize. So for the students here who apply for jobs, you can connect it to your email. It can read the references and information. I remember someone said earlier that many people don't read their emails anymore, right? Imagine you have something connected to your email that when a job offer comes in or something that you need to read for an interview, every night you can ask it or you can automate it to give you reminders in your calendar. So there's something I do because I'm on a max plan on Cloud. I am able to use co-work both on my local device and on the browser now on the cloud. Now, what that does, it means I don't need to come tomorrow and ask you to connect, look for all my schedules that I'm free, where people want to speak with me, or the meetings I'm supposed to have, and connect it to my calendar. If someone sends me an email asking for a free time on my calendar, one of our clients, or we're trying to close a deal, and there's something time sensitive, and I've set my co-work to run for me at a particular time every day or every week, what it's going to do is by that time it runs, pulls it, and I use it for Slack. So for all of us who are working here, this is a cheat I use to know what's going on in my organization. So we don't hire, when we hire locally and even internationally, we look for people who are able to utilize AI. So what I do, I connected my Slack to it across all my organizations. I created a connector module for that myself, which I connected then to my Cloud. So I connect Slack across all the organizations I'm a part of, where I'm leading teams, where I'm managing teams, all my work emails from all these organizations, every calendar in one place. All I need to do is ask it, do I have any meeting I need to know? And because it's automated, I don't need to always come back to ask that question. And it automatically looks for free spots on my calendar, and it can even reply for me on Slack. So if someone's looking for a time for me next week, it can check, and if I've given it that ability to do that, that privilege, it will send back the message that I am sorry, I'm not in my voice. Sorry, I'm not available by this time. Can we look for a time slot within these time periods? And I never had to do anything. So I basically just won back or paid for a little bit more of my time. So can we do thank you very much. So we are going to work with projects. I forgot to come back to this. So have you gone to customize? Can we go to customize? So the project is created. What have you connected? Please go to connectors. You'll see connectors over there. Yeah. So you can, okay, I've connected your Gmail. Okay, it's not connected yet. So I know this is personal. Is it possible? I was willing to do this on my side. Whoever is doing this, can you connect your Gmail for us, please? I promise no one will see your password. No one is going to spam your mail. Please, for my sake, don't spam the person's mail, please, in case job offer comes in. All right, so you select privileges. That is one of the reasons you can choose what you want it to do. Do you want it to view? Do you want it to write? Do you want it to edit? And once you have done that and you connect it, you can go to your chats. Now, I'm going to ask you something that is not invasive, all right? Simply ask it to check for your mail health. Now, mail health, for those of us who have not been doing business for a while, you don't understand how much that, it means you have things that you're supposed to have responded to a while ago that you did not even see. It got lost. For those of us that use WhatsApp, it happens to us on WhatsApp, right? Now, mail is because it's business. So you just ask it to check for my mail health. So you see, it's using tools. That's the agent running. It never needs to ask you to go to your Gmail and start giving that. It's already checking. So you see, it's recent unread breakdown. Security alerts, share your experience, financial activity, LinkedIn noise. It's in one view, you have seen this. And you can even ask it, so if there was something you missed here, you can ask it, draft a response to this person on my behalf. And then it can draft the response, and you go back and tell it to send the response. So this, in case there's something time sensitive for you to do with work, for those of us who do a lot of emails. Now, because this is not my account, I can't go into some things like Sheets and the other examples, all right? But let's do one for Sheets, business owners. Can you connect your drive for my sake? Thank you. So let's say many of us that run businesses, we have sheets of all our customers, right? We have records. Please, if you're running a business and you don't keep your records, you're doing yourself a disservice. It was also mentioned here as well. All right? It's very, very important because then you can say things that are true. You can't come out and say you have 5,000 customers. When someone tomorrow who wants to invest in your business comes to check, they can only see 2 legitimate buyers because you wanted validation. It happens. I'm serious. We have seen it. All right? So if you can connect your drive, okay, it's connected already. Awesome. Thank you. And so when you go back there, if you use Google Sheets, for example, one thing you can ask it to do is check all my at-risk customers. For those of us that sell, maybe local and internationally, at-risk customers, for those that don't understand what it means, are those who maybe they used to buy regularly from you, but over time they have stopped buying. Or for those of us that are freelancers that run things that you need to renew contracts, and maybe you created it into your Google Sheet. Now, for the job applicants, this also works for. How many of you, when you apply for jobs, you have a Google Sheet for it? Please raise your hands. I wish I was doing that early on when I was applying for a lot of jobs. Because it helps you track things, you understand? For those of you applying for visas or any other thing, how many of you have Google Sheets for tracking that? Anybody? Now, for those of you who go to work out, how many of you are tracking the kilograms you are losing? You see? So, thank you very much. Where do you track it? You have an app. An Excel sheet, awesome. So it already has it in a format that can be connected to this. Now, you can come here and check, ask it a question. If it's for something as simple as workout burn, how much did I burn in the last 3 months? Create a graph for me. It will do that. It will tell you these are the periods you had peak stuff. And then you can ask it, tie this with any major event that happened in my life. Do you know why it can do that? You have connected it and you have trained it to personalize it to you. So if maybe you lost your job, God forbid, nobody loses their job here in Jesus' name. Maybe you lost your job and then you gained a lot of pounds because we're sad eating, right? To eat away the pain. It can track that for you. Now, if you're going through, for example, those of that are writing projects, or you have how many of you use Google Sheets or something to store your results? How many of us track our results here? I'm happy to see these hands. Please, if you don't track your results and you depend on what your department gives to you as a transcript at the end of the semester, you're doing yourself a disservice. I got a B in a course I was supposed to get an A in because I was tracking it, I was able to catch it. And what happened was my complete continuous assessment was missing. And because in my department, by the grace of God, my lecturers already knew me, and I was able to get to them, and I asked the lady, she kept on checking. That's when they found out that my CA was missing, but I took the test and everything. At the end, almost half a semester later, she got back to me and said, that your CA, we finally found it. You had 20-something over 30 in it. Now, I already had a B, right? When you add that to what does it give you? You're very sorry. So I graduated first class, by the way, in microbiology. And I'm not trying to boast, I'm just trying to tell you that I was able to track that. Imagine what that B would have done to my grade. So when you track things and you have system now, before I was doing that manually, but when you have sheets like this, you can track it. Now, my time is finished, but I'm going to end with one other example and some tips. How many of you have ever been hit with limit issue before? Thank you. So how many of you have one long running chat where you always go back and just continue there? That's the first culprit. All right? Secondly, how many of you have dropped something on your AI chatbot and it gave you something very bad in response? That you're like, I can't use this for anything. How many of you? Now, the culprit for that is it does not have enough context. Go back, give it the context, but don't start by asking it the task before giving the context. That's a big mistake a lot of people make. All right? And then, what other use case? Now, all of this I'm saying are at the bottom of the handbook. So if you want to know this, you can see it there. And finally, I'm going to say AI is not meant to replace you. People using AI are not meant to replace you. Now, I run an AI lab out of our innovation lab because of this passion. I've been teaching about agentic AI since 2023, building with AI since 2022, since the time of the first ChatGPT launch, for those of us that were tracking it. And I've been building enterprise solutions. Now, businesses are paying for this. Every company I work with companies that have raised a lot of money, by the way. And these people are not hiring engineers who just know how to code. For those of you who are technology experts here, they're not looking for people that just know how to code. They're looking for people that can apply these systems. Now, I'm sorry I was unable to showcase everything as practically as I wanted to, but that's why the handbook exists. Please take a look at it, and following up, I will try to set up something with the convener where we can have a more expansive setup for anyone that wants to ask any question or go deep into it. Thank you very much for your time. I don't keep you longer outside. Thank you very much.